ships passing in the night headed in two different directions. After the Braves dispatched the Pirates in the playoffs in 91 and 92, they went on to be a dominant team in the 90s with several World Series appearances. We all know what happened to the Pirates for the following 20 years. But what goes around comes around. The Bucs have been one of the dominant teams in baseball for the past 3 years, while the Braves have descended to those depths where only a few reside. Now the question becomes, for how long?
It's a great night for baseball, and after a win yesterday in Chicago, the road trip is over. We're glad to be home as the Pirates tonight play host to the Atlanta Braves. And welcome into the booth. Joe Block along with Bob Walk here with you tonight. And in this one, we're looking for the Pirates to just begin a homestand. It's been such a long road trip. They did pretty well, 4-4, but it is nice to be home.
It certainly is. You know, when you get out on the road for the players, it's kind of physically the same. It's still 9 innings and all that, but it can really wear you down mentally going from hotel room to hotel room. And we've had 2 long road trips back to back. So this is going to be nice to get home and really be able to kind of relax and get these long road trips really behind us.
Yeah, some home cooking here and a new face as well, as the Pirates calling up Alan Hansen with Starling Marte going on paternity leave.
Alan Hansen is one of those young players we've been hearing about, been talking about the last couple of years. A very exciting type player. Athleticism is really up there off the chart. Very good speed. You can see there 5 straight seasons where he's been able to steal 20 or more bags. So this is a situation, I think, for Hansen to come up for a few days, kind of get a little taste of what this is like up here, and maybe do a little something out there with that athleticism to help us win a ball game.
Yeah, some of that speed off the bench, that could be helpful. He's also worked in left field as well in Indianapolis, so maybe we'll see him in the outfield as well as the infield in these 3 days. And here today, the 4-game series against the Atlanta Braves begins here tonight, and we have it for you next, right here on Root Sports.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, Health for All, and by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
What a beautiful setting. So glad to be back in Pittsburgh, and a long homestand coming up. And the beat keeps on going for the Buccos after a 4-4 road trip. Not bad, especially after that brilliant win yesterday against the Cubs. Hansen bopping his way in the dugout as the Pirates get ready. You got to have that 90s rock reference, right?
I don't have it.
I'm glad you don't know who Hansen was. That's a credit to you. Alan Hansen just joining the ball club today. And Starling Marte, congratulations to he and his wife, celebrating the birth of a daughter tonight, in fact. Starling Marte on a paternity leave. He'll be gone for a few days, so we'll see Alan Hansen in his stead. And what are our Rivers Casino tips to win for tonight, Bob?
These continue to be left-handed. It really doesn't make much sense until you look at the numbers of these Atlanta Braves, the hitting numbers against lefties. It's just they really have done nothing against the left-handed. They have 2 home runs and 421 at bats off lefties, 27 walks, 119 strikeouts. It's just really rough for him. And then Matt Joyce, he's going to play out there, getting the start in the outfield because Marte is gone. And I just think he's going to have a big night tonight. He's having a great year to this point as a part-time player. And I think he's going to just keep on rolling. There he is, headed out there right now at the right field. He's going to have I'm going to say at least a 2 RBI night.
Okay, all right. We'll put you on the books for that. He's definitely done well in both roles, mostly pinch hitting. And a look at the Atlanta lineup. Just 9 home runs all year for the Braves. Markakis slumping in May. Inciarte, that average not as high as we'd normally see. Freddie Freeman, of course, is stalwart. Jeff Francoeur back with the Braves and hitting lefties well. Johnson Flowers, the former Pirate d'Arnaud, Ibar, and Williams Perez, who has performed well as of late for Atlanta.
Take a look at Nice's numbers. They're brought to you by Hyundai, and they're not really pretty right now. He's got some work to do as far as the stat sheet's concerned with the ERA and the opponent batting average. He would like to maybe start keeping the home runs down a little bit, but at the same time, I thought he really took a nice step forward in his last start. Looked great out there, and hopefully tonight what I'm looking for, I think, is a lot of ground ball outs. That's what I would like to see, and this is a nice matchup, as I was saying, for any left-handed pitcher. So he should have a good one tonight.
Yeah, when he's on his game, you see a lot of ground balls from John Neese. And the Honda defense for tonight: Polanco, McCutchen. There's Matt Joyce in right, and Freese, Mercer, Harrison, and Jaso, with Cervelli doing the catching. Polanco switching over to left field. Still a little sunshine, and that's how you know we're getting closer to summertime. I forgot my sunglasses. He shouldn't be playing in the sun for much longer. Beautiful night here. Hope you can join us. I forgot my sunglasses. About an inning or so, when he goes out for the second, he may not have any sun out there. So the Braves will start off with 3 left-handed batters. They have a ton of lefties on the roster.
Keep the ball out of left center, I guess, until the sun goes by.
Mm-hmm. Freddie Gonzalez, Atlanta manager, who has overseen some really good times with the Braves.
Bad times now, though. Really struggling.
And
just 9 wins on the season.
Yeah, a little bit by design. They've tried to get some prospects in Atlanta and open the new ballpark next year, so kind of try to time it that way. One of the exceptions is Markakis, native of the Atlanta area and a veteran.
Chase Darno back in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh first broke into the big leagues.
In the lineup today at third base. And Markakis starts off with a walk. Yeah, 9-27. That's the worst start that the Braves have had since Babe Ruth decided to retire midway through that 1935 season.
Look how tough it's been for them to get a ball over the fence. 136 bats per home run.
Give you an idea, that's what, every 4 games that they hit 1 home run.
Well, they have 9. And Freeman has 6 of them. All of them solo shots. He only has 10 RBIs.
That's incredible. I mean, Freddie Freeman's one of the best offensive first basemen and defensive, for that matter, in baseball. But you know, hey, Pirates fans know what this is like when you're trying to build a roster for a couple of years from now. Braves are in that mode right now. Good sacrifice.
Sometimes it only takes a couple years. Sometimes it takes 20.
It has been the case. Right now the Pirates going to try to take advantage of the Braves. Back home.
You got to really be thinking about just playing good baseball and doing everything you were doing. Again, it doesn't matter if it's the Cardinals, whether it's the Braves, or whether it's the Cubs. You still have to play the same baseball if you want to win.
Nice gets Freeman on the first pitch.
I think it's more dangerous to take a team lightly than it is to, put a team up on a pedestal. At least that team that you think is really good. Oh, they're going to be tough to beat. You're not going to, leave any stone unturned to try and win because you know how tough it's going to be. Or sometimes you go against a team that you think, oh, look how bad they are. We should, win 2 or 3, 3 or 4, whatever it is. That's when you back off a little bit, and before you know it, the series is over and you've lost 3 or 4.
Baseball's too hard.
Yeah.
To ease up, and Clint Hurdle and his guys know that.
You look at their starters too. They're all very young, but they got decent numbers. They've been pitching pretty well, so it doesn't take all that much to turn a ball game. Come out on a losing end if you're going against a guy that is pitching well.
Behind on Francoeur, 2-1. Hey, you get to a point where the very best baseball team and the very worst baseball team aren't that far apart on any given night.
Yeah, the old saying in baseball, and a little bit of truth to it, is you're gonna win a third of your games, you're gonna lose a third of the games.
Sure.
And what separates the good teams from the bad teams is that middle third. What are you going to do on those days?
Markakis at third. And he'll be stranded right there as Nice gets the strikeout. So the leadoff walk no matter, and the Pirates coming to bat here in the first inning. Here's our RAV4 lineup for tonight. John Jaso is going to lead things off. Andrew McCutchen and then Gregory Polanco, the left fielder tonight. David Freese getting the start at third after 3 straight starts for Jung Ho Gung. Cervelli, Joyce at right, then Harrison and Mercer, and John Neese.
Take a look at Perez's numbers on the season. He's had 4 starts. The thing that we'll look at tonight and talk about quite a bit is that changeup of his. I think it's a good pitch, and the way he uses it is a little different than what most guys use their changeup. So I said we'll get into that as he gets pitching a little bit here.
The Braves have the youngest starting rotation in baseball, but they have last couple of turns through, they've been pretty effective. John Jaso back in there against a right-hander tonight. Got the day off with Lester starting yesterday. 277.
Look at that stance he's using tonight.
He changes it up about every week, doesn't he?
Yeah, a lot of nights he'll have both feet on that back chalk line. Now he's just standing there like you see most everyone else.
Now he's gone to something like this already once this year, and then went back to the stance that you just mentioned, and now he's going back to this one.
Just however he feels that night, I think.
And he's ahead of the count, 3 balls and a strike. Perez has come off 2 very strong starts, one in AAA that earned a call up, and then in his first start with Atlanta since his demotion. And he'll work with a man on to start things.
I was talking with Teak in the pregame about this very thing. When you do have young guys out there, sometimes they're not real anxious to throw the ball over the plate and be aggressive. They try to be a little too cute, a little afraid of the strike zone. Give them a chance to walk somebody.
Well, you talk about that changeup, Walkie. No one's gotten a hit off of it this year. Curious to see how that plays tonight. Yeah. Andrew McCutchen. He's got 8 home runs. The Braves have 9. And now 2 strikes. 93 from Perez. Native of Acaragua in Portuguesa, Venezuela. Williams Perez. Jaso has not yet attempted to steal this year.
So he's not really a threat to take off at any point. Not your typical leadoff guy.
Yeah, I guess, you know, right. You think, oh, the leadoff man's on, I better throw over.
Yeah, but his job is to get on, and then it's up to the other guys to knock him in.
Now, Jaso's on base percentage is what tantalized Clint Hurdle to put him atop the lineup. Missed the corner, 2-2. Perez will turn 25 next week.
Just talking about the way Perez uses his changeup. He uses it like most guys would use a breaking ball. In other words, when they get ahead in the count, they throw the breaking ball more often. And Perez does that with his changeup. When he gets ahead in the count, he starts throwing his changeup more often. And normally with guys, they use the changeup in fastball counts. That's when it's most effective. When guys are looking for fastballs, boom, you pull the string on it. So when you see guys that are even in the count or behind in the count, that's when their changeups are usually the most effective pitch. But as you can see, that's not the case with Perez. He uses his changeup as a strikeout pitch. He throws more changeups when he's ahead in the count, when he's actually in breaking ball counts. And that's almost kind of opposite of the way most guys would pitch.
Can that make him more effective because guys, hitters are not used to seeing something like that?
And I think it can be more effective because it's a real good changeup. If you're throwing your changeup in off-speed counts and having great success with it, it must be an excellent changeup, because that changeup is not getting the job done because everybody's sitting on fastball. Now you throw changeups on 2-0 counts, 3-1 counts. Guys are sitting on fastballs. That's when the changeup should be its most effective. When you're throwing a changeup on a 1-2 pitch, well, guys are supposed to be in two-strike defensive modes with a two-strike, swing. The changeup's not supposed to work in that situation because the guys are looking for it supposedly.
Hit hard. Play by Ibar to knock it down, but Polanco's going to get aboard.
Well, I think he got there in plenty of time to get it out. He made a nice job getting this ball up the middle.
Thought that was going to be a hit.
He must not have had any kind of a grip on this ball at all.
No.
Yeah, he just
shot putted it.
Yeah. Didn't really throw the ball. He just kind of pushed it.
Polanco's going to get a base hit, and he should.
Yeah, got to be a hit.
Two men aboard for David Freese.
I love that super slow-mo. You can think, well, he probably didn't have a grip, and then you see that, and it shows you exactly what he did.
Can't lie.
Yep, he had no grip. He just kind of pushed it towards second base with the palm of his hand.
Eric Ibar, the shortstop now, with Andrelton Simmons being traded away in the offseason to the Angels. A lot more unfamiliar faces in Atlanta. New ballpark set to open north of town next year. That'd be weird. This will be our final trip to Turner Field this year. Just opened. Freddie Freeman's been through some good times and now through the rebuilding process too. He's their best. Jeff Francoeur is back for a return engagement. One of the nicest guys in the game, Jeff Francoeur. See if this gets through. And everyone's going to be safe. Another infield sit. A single there for David Freese.
A similar play, this time a much better throw, but also this time a much faster runner. And of course, Polanco, being a trail runner, isn't being held on first base, so he's getting a huge jump, and he uses that speed. Easily beat the throw in.
Well, that stop saved a run, but back to back. Temporarily, yes. Bases full of Bucks. One out for Francisco Cervelli. Pirates trying to strike first here in the first. Here comes Jaso, and the Pirates have the lead.
Breaking ball that
got missed.
Tyler Flowers couldn't hold on. Cervelli still a chance with second and third. This will get another run home. Polanco is in, and it's 2-0 Buccos. RBI number 17 for Cervelli.
Infield back. Just make sure you get one put play out there. Get a run home. Well, I guess we should get one more out of this inning, huh? With Joyce coming up with a run in scoring position.
Well, that's your guy to come through with a couple of runs batted in today. And Joyce with 4 home runs, 3 as a pinch hitter.
Opening up that left side for him. Ground ball to shortstop. Gets you a base hit and an RBI.
It hits line drives to left.
A line drive to left will work too.
Sure.
Either one. Nobody over there except the third baseman.
He's hit to the opposite field with power, but you know, whenever you see these shifts, it's, you know, where does he hit it on the ground, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's what you go by. You go by the spray sheet, or spray chart, whatever you want to call it. Spray sheet. Get out.
There's a line drive to right. A 2-out RBI hit for Matt Joyce. 3-0 Pirates.
Halfway to 2.
Matt Joyce in there for Starling Marte. There's his 13th run batted in.
They pitched him away, but he went out and hooked it. Another line drive. I'd said a line drive would be okay.
You allow it.
That's a perfectly placed line drive. He had to get it high enough to get it over Johnson. Low enough so that it falls in.
Well, the Pirates with a walk, 3 singles, a wild pitch. That's enough for 3 runs. Matt Joyce with that nice 2-out hit. Pirates going to give John Neese a lead with which to work. John Neese would love to come up this inning. He's in the hole.
Helmet on already.
He feels confident.
Yeah, I like it. Maybe that's just like a good luck thing.
Yeah.
Wear the helmet, can score
Wishful
runs.
thinking, right? And Williams Perez, he's like, oh, I'm getting a chance. Williams Perez came back up from the minor leagues, working with Gwinnett pitching coach Marty Reed. He gave up just 1 run and 2 hits over 8 innings. He needed 85 pitches in his first start back from the minors against the Phillies. The Phillies lineup isn't what it used to be, of course. However, in any big league game, going 8 innings, giving up 2 hits is pretty good. Pirates already have struck for 3 against him here in the first inning. Harrison trying to keep the line moving. I did a Twitter poll the other day about how many people keep score at games. It's very unscientific. The margin of error is probably 100%, but about 30% of the respondents said that they keep score at games. I was pleased to hear that. I thought maybe a dying art.
It is a dying art.
Now, I mean, I keep score at every game, but I'm kind of supposed to. Pretty close.
Yeah. I think Joyce was going to run on that pitch. It looked like he was kind of leaning that way when they threw over. Thinking, okay, 0-2, I'll take a shot at it.
There we go.
Why are you supposed to keep scoring?
Well, I got to know what's happening in the game. Now, if you're sitting in the seats, you don't have to do it, but it's fun. I think it's fun. I like going back and seeing what's happened, or maybe when you come back a year from now, or 2 years, or 10 years from now, you look back and go, okay, oh, I remember that game I went to. ... Oh, so and so hit a home run. I forgot about that. Harrison, deep to right. Enough room for Markakis.
F9, or no, just 9.
I put F9. 3-0 Buccos.
PNC Park, the Pirates have scored early and often. 3-0 Buccos here as we move to the top of the second inning. Now, the Pirates will not travel to the ATL Atlanta until June. And, well, maybe things will change by then, but right now, home is not sweet for the Atlanta Braves. In fact, they joined the 1883 Philadelphia Quakers as the only team to drop 15 of their first 16 games at home. By the way, the 1913 Yankees went winless in their first 16. They went 0-15-1. Yes, a tie. But the Braves looking forward to trying to get some wins on the road where they have 7 of their 9, but off to a tough start tonight. But, man, that record at home is tough.
Thank you, Dan. Good to see you here. And, gosh, those 1883 Philadelphia Quakers. Got Bob Ferguson fired, but Blondie Purcell got him through the rest of the season.
Blondie, huh?
That was the name of the manager the rest of the way. Blondie Purcell. Freddie and Frenchie. You think Jeff Francoeur is a big league manager one day? If he wants to go for it, I think he'd be a good one. He's got a few years before he would even have to make that decision. So can't get it, and Kelly Johnson will be aboard to start the second inning.
Ball hit fairly sharply, but it's a play we've seen Jaso make most of the time. He's been outstanding out there on defense so far, just off the edge of the glove.
That'll be a base hit. And the Pirates still do not have an error over at first base this year after committing 30 last year at first base alone. We're in mid-May now. No errors at first. That's the first one that you could even
scratch
your head at.
That was probably going to be a flip a coin pick there, whether it was going to go as an error or as a hit.
That's the first time all year where I've gone, well, might be. We're in mid-May, and talking with Clint Hurdle about that the other day, and he said that's made a huge difference. The confidence of the fielders, and he credited Pedro Alvarez last year in the effort that he gave, of course, but clearly it's come easier to John Jaso because he's worked at it as well very hard, and David Freese for that matter, both learning the position. And Freese in much more limited action, but Jaso has done a very fine job over there at first base, especially considering he'd never played there before, really. Not to be understated. Tyler Flowers is aboard on the second walk issued by Nice, and there's 2 men aboard with nobody out. And now the former Pirate Chase Darno. Playing at third base tonight. Eighth ball game with the Braves.
There was a possibility there for a while that he was going to be the shortstop of the future, but did not work out. Always been very athletic, good running speed.
Jordy Mercer seems to be that guy right now.
It turned out to be. Well, they kind of came up about the same time. And early on, I think Chase had the advantage, but then Mercer didn't take long. He really, once he got out there, he showed that he was going to be the much steadier hitter and better player. And so Jordy now, there's no question who the shortstop is on this team.
Alan Hansen was coming up as a shortstop too, and once Mercer started to cement himself over there, maybe move him around a little bit more. I like the kid with the pillbox hat. That's nice. Curveball there. Kelly Johnson, infield single. Lead runner. Tyler Flowers worked the walk. Hey.
That ball really fought off. Nice pitching on the hands.
So,
off to boot camp.
Thank you for what you're going to do for us. Hope your last game is enjoyable other than the outcome. Spoiled another one. Darno last year in brief action with the Phillies. Last time with the Bucks a couple of years ago toward the tail end of the year. This could be 2. And he beat out the relay.
Still looks like he's got some wheels, because that I thought was going to be a double play for sure.
Stole 28 bases last year in AAA with the Phillies.
But this is
that's tailor-made.
Yeah, it took Freese right to the bag. Darno able to beat it out.
So 1 out. Still first and second. Eric Ibar, the number 8 hitter. Long-time Angel.
Hitting at 187 with 123 at bats.
And he's been a much better hitter than that throughout his career. Former All-Star, one-time Gold Glover as well. Yeah, he was an All-Star just 2 years ago. So when the Braves traded away Simmons, they were hoping to get back at least a comparable shortstop. There's one, and no relay. Ibar runs well as well.
Yeah, I'm sure this lack of offense that they've had basically as the team has caught them off guard.
At least to this degree, that's for sure. Hey, fireworks light up the Pittsburgh skyline Thursday at PNC Park as the Pirates will host these Braves at 7:05, and you can stay after the game for a Zambelli fireworks show. For tickets, go to pirates.com. And just another gorgeous night. 3-0 Pirates. Thanks for joining us here this evening as the Pirates back at home. Williams Perez, an .063 career hitter. John Neese, infield hit, walk. Trying to work around it. Men at the corners. Lead runners Flowers does not run well. Braves left a man stranded at third in the first inning. Two and two coming right after him.
Throw him one more. Get back to that bat rack and hopefully building on the lead.
That one missed.
This might have been a smidgen outside, but most of the time you'll get this call against a pitcher.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Look good live. That's Jerry Meals, the crew chief, working the plate for a Pirates Braves game. And Williams Perez are working along at bat here. Already 42 pitches for Neese. 7th one of this at bat. Fouled off again. Perez checking to see if his bat was cracked. Flip it upside down.
Listen to the tone. It's a tuning fork. Bang it on the ground.
Another 3-2. John Neese gets another ground ball. Braves made it work a little bit, but he's blanked him through a pair of innings. Bucco's on top, 3-0.
The Pirates and Pirates Charities recognize participants from the 6th annual It's Your Perfect Pitch Camp. The event was led by former Pirate Grant Jackson and other local coaches and players on Saturday. It supports local youth with hearing disabilities. The clinic is designed to assist players with various skills in both baseball and softball, and of course was capped by their presence on the field tonight and in a suite that they're enjoying. So very nice to see, once again, the Pirates active in the community. All the way out of town on that long road trip. A chance for them to entertain some young kids, guys.
Oh, that's a really neat story. I didn't know that. And, I think, I'm sure part of the conversation was about Curtis Pride, who had a long major league career. And, oh, look at that, too. Our Point Park tweets. WPSD also thanking Pirates Community Foundation and the Pirates for Perfect Pitch Camp. Yeah, Curtis Pride, there was a pitcher, left-hander Ryan Ketchner, who made it to AAA. And just shows you that really nothing holds you back from playing the game you love.
Absolutely. Got to go out there and give it your best no matter what.
And get to take in a nice ball game tonight. Nice weather tonight. Still a little cool here for springtime, but very enjoyable. This never gets old. I say that every time. I love coming back here. I like 81 way more than 9 times. This is great. And I don't think we ever take it for granted, too, because whenever any of the visiting teams come in, especially the ones from outside the division, all of a sudden on Twitter you see this writer, this broadcaster, this player takes a picture, takes 2 pictures, sends it out. Wow, how gorgeous is this? I mean, just good to see some activity again in the river. Been too cold back in April for that.
They'll get real active out there before long. School gets out.
Jordy Mercer, leadoff man gone. And pitcher versus pitcher now. That's nice.
Some fast boats. You a good rower, you think?
No. I need to practice. I wouldn't mind getting out. That would. My wife and I have talked about it. It would be a little hard with the baby out there, but if she gets a little bigger, maybe we'll get back out. Maybe we'll get a sitter. How about that? Kayaking for the afternoon.
Sounds like a good idea.
Darno gets some action. He's put away the first 2. Jaso gets another chance after that leadoff walk in the first. Some more Point Park tweets, and Alabama fan, way to capitalize. Curve in for strike 1. Justin said, yeah, the Buccos filling up the board early, not wasting any time. Austin says Dylan loves the start. And I'll tell you, I don't know your take, but, we don't know a lot about Perez, what he's done this year. We saw him just briefly last year, but judging by what he's done in his last 2 starts, this might have been the best opportunity here in that first inning. Who knows? To really get something going against him. Jason's going to have a 2-out hit.
Well, the thing that I liked about the 3 runs in the first inning is talking during the pregame, and we were talking right when the game just got underway about how sometimes you can take a team a little bit for granted, thinking, okay, they're coming in here, they only have 9 wins and yada yada yada. So what you like to see to make sure that that's not happening is that 3 spot in the first inning. Now it's like, okay, right from the very first beginning of this game, they've come to play, and that's what you want to see out of the Bucs.
Did you just yada 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 the first inning?
Yeah. No, yada yada yada. That was referring to what we say when the game starts. Our talking. The little skit we do before the game, you know.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Here's McCutchen.
It's like when we stand there and tell everybody what is going to happen, and we really have no idea.
Don't give away our secrets. Two-out hit. Not much going on here, but the Pirates on top, 3-0 through 2. On our UPMC scoreboard, Pirates have a 3-0 advantage. And congratulations to the Marte family. Starling putting this out on Instagram, welcoming Tiana to the world. Little girl born tonight. Congratulations to the whole crew. Starling Marte beginning a paternity leave this evening. So Alan Hansen getting called up. Nick Markakis has just hit it off the top of the wall. Boy, that one just missed getting out of here, and it'll be a double.
Would have been his first. Didn't quite make it over the Clemente wall.
He only hit 3 all of last year. Wow.
At that little fence, just the top of the wall.
Well, the Braves have had a leadoff man on in each of the first 3 innings. Nice has been able to hold him steady so far. And strike one to Inciarte. Markakis hitting just 174 in May. That's his first extra base hit all month. That'll move the one over. Markakis to third with one away for Freddie Freeman coming up. They're Automotive League leaders and the starting pitchers with the lowest earned run average. against the Braves since 2014. Hamels, Leake, okay, DeGrom, John Neese right there. He has done a number in all of his years with the Mets. NL East foes. First time the Pirates have faced a team from the East. They're going to play a lot of games outside of the division.
Sure is different to see the Braves in this scenario where they're scuffling like this after watching what they did in the 90s. Just an incredible franchise. First place, year after year after year.
Only exception, 94 with Montreal. They rattled off so many in a row in the East. With that exception. That always seems to get missed when they say that they won, what, 13 divisions in a row or whatever.
Well,
except for 94.
Yeah, but nobody won the division in 94. Montreal didn't win the division in 94. Right?
They were on top when the season ended.
Season never ended.
Big strikeout there for John Neese.
Speaking of strike. No, I'm with them. I got to say they won in a row because 94 basically didn't happen. So no World Series that year.
Well, there's no world champion.
Wasn't a World Series. Who won the pennant for the National League in 94?
No one did. Now Joyce is there, and John Neese gets out of it. Nice job striking out Freeman and then getting Francoeur to end the threat.
Joyce doing it all.
Music from 6 a.m. We'll be at Stage AE in a couple of days. And beautiful images on our Allegheny Health Network Supermo.
Let's get some guys on for Matt. He's coming up fourth this innings. Bank cleanup.
Already has an RBI today. Gregory Polanco in left field today.
Told you that was a great catch.
Joyce hanging out next to the skip. Well, you called it, Walkie. You said he's going to have a good night tonight.
I say a lot of things. Most of them don't happen. But
we always bring up the ones
point
that,
out the ones that do.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. 2-1 on Polanco. Had an infield hit back in the first.
Okay, now this would be more of a conventional time to use a changeup. 2-1 count.
Right, because you want to even the count up, right? And usually fastball's your most reliable pitch.
Well,
right?
the hitter kind of feels like he's in charge right now. He's ahead in the count.
Down by Johnson. Polanco able to beat it out.
So you might be sitting on a fastball, and if you get it, you hit it hard, and that's what happened there. Polanco laces this 90-mile-an-hour fastball and knocks it off Johnson's glove. Hung up in the webbing just for a moment.
A little wince and a hop after that.
He's still kind of working that left knee a little bit.
Or a hamstring, maybe.
Definitely is the left leg.
We'll keep an eye on that, see if that matters. Grimace from Polanco. That one's through for a base hit. David Freese with his second hit tonight. So both Polanco and Freese, a pair of base hits.
This is smart hitting here.
The Pirates with 6 hits, all singles.
He gets jammed pretty good here, just fights it off and rolls it perfectly through the middle. A little body lean once he saw it was through the hole. Yep, that's a knock.
Yeah, David Freese in the cleanup spot tonight, average up to 286 now.
Look who's on deck.
How about who's up?
Things are setting up nicely for number 17.
Cervelli drove in a run his first time. A squibber, that gets through a base hit. Schofield waved Polanco, held him up, waved him, and now he's in. RBI for Cervelli, 4-0 Pirates.
More smart hitting. Cervelli getting congratulated. There it is again, just punching it the other way, rolls it through that side. Oh. I think the ball, Polanco got there about the same time. I think Polanco got hit in the back with it.
Markakis, one of the best in right field, third among active players in outfield assists. I'm sure that had something to do with some hesitation from Rick Schofield waving Polanco. But hey, he was able to score from second base. Remember, we thought maybe tweak a little something in there or whatever. Score from second base. Well, hold your sign up.
Touches the only one. Who is 22?
Happy birthday, Katie.
Katie, happy birthday.
They were so excited to be on TV, they forgot to hold up their side.
Need another RBI.
Bob Walk says Matt Joyce is going to have 2 RBIs tonight. He singled in a run back in the first. 2 men on here. Almost got another hit. Man down.
Sounded like that ball rattled around in the photographer pit also.
You look out and you look out. Oh, it hit the base of the camera. The unipod.
Unipod, yeah. Monopod.
Monopod. I don't know.
It's a pod of some sort. We know it's not an iPod.
Rick just bounced right back up. He was a good quarterback back in his day. He knows how to get up from a hit.
Good eye.
And Potash stoic. He stood in there in the face of danger.
Looks like he might be behind some kind of a clear protective device there.
Hit well to center. Arte with room there.
Still a productive out.
I'll move up one. Freeze will get into third.
Just missed it.
Cervelli with 2 RBIs tonight.
So I think when you move somebody to third with 1 out, and then if that person gets knocked in via an out, then you should get half an RBI. So he could be at 1.5 tonight.
Like an assist.
An assist, yeah, it's an
like
RBI
in hockey?
assist. That's I like that term better even.
Okay.
RBI assist.
Yeah.
An RBI
a run assist.
RBI A. An RA. Yeah,
Assisted run batted in.
Well, you don't get anything for it. You don't get a sacrifice. You don't get anything. You're getting it bat.
You know what I think?
You don't want.
We need more stats in baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, there aren't enough.
I can think of several that we could remove and make room for some new ones.
Harrison with a 0.9 F WAR coming up.
What'd you say?
I don't know. That's the Fangraphs wins above replacement.
Oh.
I just made up what his number is. I don't know if that's correct. This one might get through. Johnson going to make a nice play, but
good RBI.
19.
Yeah, Jay gets the RBI.
And he's charged to time at bat.
Yeah, Joyce needs something there, because he's the one that moved him over to third to score on that ground ball.
5-0 Pirates. Now let me say this.
Oh, he's getting some high fives, though.
Now he
like
gets
that.
plenty of high fives.
He gets, you know, his peers. They realize that he set up that run. That's good.
But he gets charged to time at bat. If he hits a fly ball to center field, he does not get a charged time at bat.
Oh, you mean Jay? You're talking about Jay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because he had a sacrifice ground out, so to speak, instead of a sacrifice fly. So he gets charged to time at bat. But if he hit a fly ball, that's that.
Yep.
So that seems silly. So Mercer's going to be walked for Nice. Number 19 RBIs for Josh Harrison.
Yeah, a lot of times early in a ball game, you won't be doing this kind of stuff, but when you're down 5-0, you have to start taking a few gambles to get outs. Well, you put somebody on. See if you get the pitcher out, get the inning over.
Nice will put together a good bat usually. Already has a pinch hit RBI hit this season. 154 overall.
That wild game down in Arizona.
Which one? The wildest, right?
Yeah.
That was on April 24th, the 12-10, 13-inning Pirates win.
There were 4 pitchers got involved in that game that didn't pitch.
Something like 43 players got into that game.
Pinch running and playing defense and pinch hitting and all kinds of stuff for pitchers.
Freddie Gonzalez's move
paid off.
Good work. But the Pirates add 2 more. 3 more hits for the Buccos, leading 5-0.
It's time for the Toyota RAV4th inning. The all-wheel drive RAV Hybrid has performance that will make you rethink hybrid. Let's go Bucks!
"5-0 Pirates." Hey, give me a ball. He might get one from his favorite player. Isn't that the great thing about baseball? How about talking about Matt Joyce tonight? I don't know if we mentioned this, but Bob, you had said that Joyce was going to have a good night tonight, and look at all the tweets. Everyone.
I don't think I brought that up at all, but there it is. I like the was that a tweet or something you were showing me earlier there? With the panda?
Oh, yeah.
I like that one a lot. It was what I look like when you brought up war. Is that really the look on my face? It probably was.
We'll see if we can.
That wins above replacement.
Yeah, clue everybody else in.
Uh-oh. Now that's going to be an error. Be your first one there, huh?
Lee Johnson on a tough play to Jaso back to lead off the second inning, and here in the fourth. Kind of a soft throw from Mercer. I don't know. They'll rule here, but should have been an out.
I think they're just kind of trying to figure out who to give the error to.
Right. Kind of a sidearm tailing throw, and then but first baseman seemed to scoop that ball. Probably on the throw. It's usually almost always on the throw unless you hit him pretty solidly with that effort. It will be on Jaso. Okay, so that's the first error by a Pirates first baseman this season.
Well, he's got that over with now. So.
And they're going to erase it. A double play. That's how you make up for it. So at Bucko Talk, we were talking about F war last inning. That's what they thought your face looked like. It was pretty similar. Like yeah, it was kind of.
It's kind of like that. I said, well, what did you say? Yeah, I'm not up on the war or the F war or any of that kind of stuff.
I try to know what they are, and some of them I like, and some of them I don't really subscribe to. But there are so many different numbers, and they keep coming up with them.
Well, I guess the war number, that's a way to judge the value of a player against other players in the league.
Exactly. They're trying to come up with one number that can quantify a player's ability offensively and defensively. I don't know how easy that is to do, but there's an attempt. Well, baseball's become way more statistically driven. It used to be just kind of for entertainment and as a guide, and now sometimes decisions are based on it, or at least influence.
It really has been, though. Always seems like a game of numbers and statistics, and I think that the fans really like to be able to see that stuff. You know, every single day when I was a kid, that the Angels of Southern California, Angels, Dodgers. There's that stats on the sports page all the time. I mean, you love to look at it every day. See what everybody was hitting. The batting average going up, down. And
when I was about his age, I'd take out the newspaper, and every Sunday they print all the averages. Pour through that thing. There's a base hit for Chase Darno. Extra bases. He's got good speed. He's going to try for 3. Harrison's relay is offline, and a 2-out triple.
A little bit of a chance there, down 5 runs with 2 outs. So take a chance of getting thrown out at third.
Joyce needed to do is throw him out, right? Get the assist tonight.
You just don't want to make an out on this. There's a lot of explaining to do if this throw just is right on the bag and you end up being out.
You're fine with it with no outs or 1 out, right?
Well, even then, down 5-0.
I see.
Maybe not. But the combination of 2 outs and down 5-0 makes that a little risky.
Eric Ibar with a 2-out chance.
I guess for me, you got to be able to say, okay, I know I could make it without a play. If you can make it without a play, go ahead, get to third base, because you can maybe score on a wild pitch or something, or an error, or increases your WAR.
John Neese has stranded a man at third in every inning tonight. 5-0 Buccos. Vogelsong shares his epic saga of defeat, redemption, and overwhelming joy in making his comeback to the major leagues. Hear his story on Inside Pirates Baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network, tomorrow after postgame, right here on Root Sports. Welcome back, Jung Ho Kang. Not in the starting lineup tonight, but back with the club. And
what an impact he's had already.
My goodness.
Came back on the road trip and certainly established himself as a force again in that lineup.
4 home runs, a couple of doubles. Now getting the day off today. This is, I mean, he can still pinch hit today, but we're trying to limit him on occasion just to kind of ease him back into action. Played all 3 games in Chicago. Jaso has singled and walked. Shift. Now how about what Jung Ho Kang was able to do yesterday? What a great ball game that was. John Lester pitched great, but the Pirates were better. And that no-hitter going to the 7th. Gunn driving in the first run and then adding an important home run in the 9th inning. Ended up being the difference. The Pirates 2-1 win. That was a fun ball game. Garrett Cole was great.
Yeah, Cole was outstanding. Jung Ho knocking in both the runs that we were going to score. Hit 2 home runs first night back.
That was electric.
What, the third? Was it the third pitch he saw since coming off the disabled list?
That's right.
Hit out of the ballpark.
He made out on the first 2 at bats on the first pitch, and the third first pitch.
He wasn't up there doing a lot of taking. He was being aggressive and certainly paid off.
McCutcheon tonight 0 for 2. And underneath it. That's the second out. Hey, we're told that the error that was assessed to Jaso back in the top half of this inning now changed to Mercer. So the Pirates still without an error at first base this year.
Trying to figure out whether their hand motions, what it is they're talking about. I don't think it's the error of the throw.
This one a fair ball, and then Blanco tagged out by the catcher.
Yep, I don't. Nothing to argue about.
And the first 1-2-3 inning for Williams Perez.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Chevy Equinox and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Barrel. Check out the Barrel Hot List at barrel.com. Now the only way to buy a car. Let's go Bucks!
Fifth inning on its way. 5-0 Pirates on our UPMC scoreboard. Williams Perez will lead it off. John Neese has stranded a man at third in each inning, keeping the Braves off the board. Braves have had the leadoff man on in every inning.
Not this inning. It's going to break it right here.
You're going to go on a limb and.
Yep, you got a 1-2 count.
You are full of predictions tonight.
This one's I'm not really going out too far out on that. Hey, while we have a moment, I would like to say happy birthday to my grandson, Jake. This is Grandpa. Happy birthday. Jake's 2 years old today. So, happy birthday, Jake.
That's wonderful. 2?
2 years old. And he loves the Pirates. I guarantee he's sitting there watching the game right now. Hi, Jake.
Jake, this is Grandpa's friend. Happy birthday to you, too. It's ball one.
Little inside.
Just a bit.
Who was it used to make a call like that?
I'm not sure.
One of my favorite parts of the movie.
Major League. Bob Uecker playing Harry Doyle, the very colorful announcer for Cleveland.
And that's got to be, folks that rate their top baseball movies. That's got to be in everybody's top 3 or 4, don't you think?
Oh, for
it's
sure.
It's just a classic.
It's been around since guys like John Neese were very little. Yet still has a lot of appeal among today's ball player. Jason Grilli, a big fan of it. I know that. Saw him a couple of years ago in the elevator. He was with the Pirates. I don't know why he was in the elevator a couple hours before game time, but I think he was going to a suite or something to say hi to somebody. And he was talking with Uecker about Major League, and he was awestruck to talk about the movie with him. And a couple of strikeouts here for John Neese in the 5th inning. Five strikeouts for Neese. Jerry Meals calling out Markakis.
Yeah, maybe outside a little bit. Markakis didn't like it. Early in the game, Neese didn't get a couple of calls. But they all go back and forth. And you hope at the end of the night they kind of even themselves out.
Would you say umpires today are more accurate calling balls and strikes than when you were pitching? Because
it depends on if the umpires 30 years ago wanted to be accurate or not. If they wanted to, I would say no. There's
no difference.
No difference.
Oh, a snare by David Freese.
I'd like to maybe at some point finish my thought on that to explain why I'm saying it.
We'll have time. We're only in the 5th, and it's 5-0 Pirates. That's a great name to see, and it's part of our day automotive this day in Pirates history. Back in 1970, Pirates beating the Expos 4-3 on a Bill Mazeroski pinch hit game-winning single in the 9th. Matty Alou and Bob Robertson with 3 hits each, and Robertson needing a single for the cycle. Steve Blass started that game and got the no decision. Luke Walker ended up getting the win. He's retired for the first time tonight.
Be a nice little pick up and throw by the Gold Glover, ex-Gold Glover.
Yeah, are you, if you're not a reigning Gold Glover, are you always a Gold Glover?
It's a good question. I didn't know how to say that. Should I call him a Gold Glover because he's not a reigning Gold Glover? But
he has
but
won a
once
Gold
you
Glove.
have won the Gold Glove, you're not really an X. It's just, it's yours. You got it. You won one.
Rafael Palmeiro, always a Gold Glover.
Yeah, I don't know what would be the proper term.
Tweet us at #BucksBooth.
Yeah. Is he? Let's say you won a Gold Glove in 2014. You're not the reigning Gold Glove shortstop.
Does it expire over a certain length of time? I mean, he was a Gold Glover 5 years ago.
Yeah, so I don't know what that means.
Times that Cervelli has come up tonight, he's driven in a run.
I think you pretty much, once somebody wins it, in my opinion, now that I've kind of run it across in my head a few times, you got to just say he's a Gold Glover. Bill Mazeroski's a Gold Glover.
Yes. Yeah, now look at that.
Yeah. There's a couple of Gold Glovers.
We think about the hits that they had, especially Maz. But defensively, as good as they come at their position. And we're just talking about Twitter, so let's go down to Dan Potash. What
Yeah, and
Dan?
speaking of Francisco Cervelli, he will be our guest on Twitter Tuesday tomorrow. In fact, we ask you to send us our questions, or your questions, to us at Root Sports Pit using the hashtag Bucks Tuesday. We'll pick some of the best and then feature them tomorrow night during the broadcast. That's Amore.
That's going to be entertaining. He is fun to be around and fun to talk to, and you get to talk to him through Twitter.
I was talking about the umpires before,
yes,
as far as balls and strikes. There's some scenarios, like if somebody's up, like if it's 12-0 and it's the 8th inning, thunderstorms are coming in, the hitters better be swinging the bat because that's going to be a huge strike zone. Umpires nowadays don't have the leeway because they're getting judged every single night on their strikes and balls call. It doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter anything. They're getting judged on every pitch. It's going in a computer somewhere and getting logged.
And yeah, they get graded on it. It could mean a postseason assignment or not.
That wasn't happening 30 years ago. I mean, the umpires, they could expand the strike zone at times to kind of, move along a one-sided ball game that rain's coming in, and there were other times too that I've seen them either expand a strike zone or narrow a strike zone for disciplinary reasons, I guess you could say,
or if
for poor conduct.
Or if you're known for your command, like we're seeing the Braves here tonight. What about Greg Maddux, for instance? He might get a pitch off the plate consistently because.
But I'm not sure that umpires.
Because he's so good at his command.
Yeah,
if the catcher's glove was already there, right? You just kind of say, well, he must have been trying for a spot. Just like if Tony Gwynn maybe was taking a borderline pitch.
I don't think an umpire would actually admit to purposely calling balls strikes for, say, a Greg Maddux type guy.
No,
but they would admit to calling balls strikes to get a game over that's 12-0 in the. That's the difference I'm talking about.
I see. And these days that has changed.
Yeah, you can't do that because that's going against your percentage.
Well, Matt Joyce getting aboard again.
Yeah, ex-Gold Glover couldn't come up with that one.
Ibar with the shift on, having to go far to his right there.
Hit him in the heel of the hand. See, that's what happened. It didn't get in the glove.
Analysis.
He's not a gold hander. But it's all about Joyce tonight. You're not going to get him on
prediction. This one hit toward the corner.
Get on the ball.
Fair ball off the wall. Joyce being waved around third, and he's in. Harrison standing up at third, and the Pirates add to it. It's 6-0.
You know, you don't see that happen very often down in this corner, where that ball will bounce and go up into the go up against the wall and stay fair. When I saw it bounce, I thought for sure it was going to get over that little short wall. Oh, I see. It hit the edge of the sign and came back. That's why it stayed in. Well, that was a fortunate hop then. And normally they'll bounce off that wall and kind of take a right turn and get back into that little driveway area. Back in the tunnel.
Yeah.
But it hit the side of the Bowser sign, and that kept it in play. You see the yellow line that goes through the B?
This will end the inning. Josh Harrison, the first Pirate to 20 RBIs this year, and they lead 6-0. Tonight for a special Inside Pirates Baseball, looking back at the career of Al Oliver. And despite devastating loss and personal struggles, Oliver found brilliant success in the game of baseball, and you can see his story and hear from the former Pirate on Inside Pirates Baseball. Al Oliver, scoop tonight after postgame right here on Root Sports. And on our UPMC scoreboard, 6-0 Buccos. A little bit chilly tonight, not bad night though. Mid-May, want it to warm up a little more, and we should by the weekend.
Amy, Emily, happy birthday. I know you're watching. Big Pirate fans.
Oh, okay. That was a while we have a moment?
That was why we didn't have much of a moment. I had to like.
We had less than a moment to say, well, we had a moment. I didn't know. Caught me off guard.
Nice is working fast tonight. We got to get him in.
He has set down 4 in a row after the 2-out triple by Darno. Hard to keep Freddie Freeman down long. Hitless in his first 2 trips, but he'll have a leadoff double. And even though Nice has kept the Braves off the scoreboard, they've had the leadoff man on in 5 out of the 6 innings.
It's tough to keep putting up those zeros with the leadoff hitters on. What a really good player that Freeman is. You know, talk about the your WAR numbers of putting together guys offense and defense. I imagine that Freeman, you know, the way he can play both sides of the ball, so to speak, and a very high value for any club. You looking up his WAR?
Yeah, I was going to say. But yeah, it's hard to quantify a player's value in one number, but they try it. But yeah, you're right. He would probably be a guy that would be up on that list, I would think. Maybe not as much this year. I think he's down this year because of.
Yeah, you can't look at that. I'm
yeah.
talking about over his career.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm talking about his career WAR. His WAR record. Well, you are fast with that computer.
I use it every day. I can't find what I'm looking for though. So I'm going to abandon ship. It was all for show. I was actually just looking at the stock ticker. I don't know. So Frank Gore has hit his first home run of the year. And a no doubt shot in the left. And Jeff Francoeur, his first home run with the Braves in his second stint now.
It certainly wasn't a one that we had to wait and see if it was going to make it. This one had that the correct angle and exit speed. Oh, nice play by the Braves fan.
He wanted it more.
Going back, gave up his bodies. He slammed into the looked like the back of the seat. High five. Yeah, he made a play, that's for sure.
And a first home run in a Braves uniform for Frank Gore since June 24th, 2009 off Jabba Chamberlain.
Nice job. 10 home runs now, right?
Hey Mom, guess what I just did? It was really sweet. Got a ball. Yeah, that's good sports. And then this, yeah, I was this close. Here's the guy who got the ball. Good for Jeff Francoeur, but now he's still up 6-2. 11th home run allowed by Nice. Only the second one he's allowed with a man on this year. Last 9 had all been solo shots.
Yeah.
But with a 6-run lead, trying to challenge hitters. And you know, you look at, and I'm not going to say this has happened in every one of Nice's starts, but certainly in a few of Nice's starts, he's had big leads in games. And so rather than just walk guys, he's challenged hitters, and that's why some of those home runs at least have tallied up. First down of the inning. That one estimated at 404 feet. So only the third out of the 11 home runs he's allowed that have even gone 400 feet for Nice. A lot of them have been first, second rows. No doubt about that one from Francoeur. Getting some more ground balls.
That's nice after the home run. They get a couple of quick outs.
Hey, you can see the Pirates raise it and take home a Raise the Jolly Roger bobblehead when they play the Rockies Saturday at 4:05. Hey, arrive early. If you're one of the first 20,000 fans, you receive the Raise the Jolly Roger bobblehead presented by Allegheny Health Network. For tickets, go to pirates.com. Maybe we'll see you guys on Saturday as well. She's trying to emulate the bobblehead. Darno, former Pirate with a triple his last time. 6-2 Pirates in the 6th. So now the Pirates, I should say the Braves, now have 10 home runs this season after the Francoeur home run. They They had been on a pace to hit 40 home runs for the entire season, which would be the lowest output in a non-strike season since Washington in 1948.
If they stay on their pace, that's their home run for the 4-game series.
That's right. Yeah, one out of every 4 games.
So we don't have to worry about that then.
All right, clear that out of the way. And Nice, after the home run, retires the 3 men in order. Braves get 2, and it's 6-2 Buccos. Injury in the division with Ryan Braun out for the past couple of days. He had an X-ray on his right wrist, and nothing really of concern came back, but out of action so far, which the way that he has swung the bat for the Brewers, it's a big loss. Jeff Francoeur with his first home run of the year has made it 6-2. And there's the Braves fan who reached up and caught it. And here's the major league debut for Alan Hansen. Pinch hitting for Jonathan Nice. Trying to use that good speed. Hansen with Indianapolis hit at .288. Hit safely in his final 4 games. Switch hitters standing in left. In the air to left for Francoeur, but foul. Well, Alan Hansen was asked today, you know, has it felt like a long road here? And he said, well, in some ways yes, in some ways no. Playing the game that he loves. Coming a long way from La Romana in the Dominican Republic. Making his way through the Pirate system. And being rewarded, as Glenn Hurl said, for his good play and getting a chance for 3 days to be up here while Starling Marte is on the paternity list. And there he is on the Major League scoreboard.
He's in the book now.
Always will be in the baseball encyclopedia. And he's the first out here in the 6th. John Nice, a quality start tonight. 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, struck out 6. In line for the win.
A couple of good starts back to back now. We think this W hopefully will be an easy one. 4-run lead, just 3 innings left.
There he is, Neftali Feliz. We haven't seen him in 8 days.
He's strong.
He threw 4 pitches last Sunday. Jaso walking a single tonight. Headed towards second, and Johnson gets the second out, so Williams Perez settled down a bit. Hey, you can cheer on your Bucks for a free shirt Friday. The Pirates taking on the Rockies Friday at 7:05. If you're one of the first 20,000 fans through the turnstiles, get a free Pirates t-shirt presented by Milan. Get your tickets at pirates.com/free shirt Friday. Nicely modeled. I like that one. That's a really nice.
That looks really good.
Why don't we add another year
great
to that?
have, right? That'd be fine with me.
For next year. Let's give it away, huh? First things first.
If you got another year to that, it'll probably be a shirt with all by itself.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're right.
That'd be something else. I know Paul Dietz would love one of those shirts. It's Paul's birthday, 92 today.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Very seldom ever misses a game. Happy birthday, Paul.
One and two to McCutchen. Driven. And Marquez has just enough room. Did well, but the third out of the inning. And the Pirates take a 6-2 lead to the 7th.
To the top of the 7th, and there's the man, Alan Hansen, who officially made his major league debut last inning by pinch hitting. And you know, the 23-year-old has come a long way since first signing with the Bucks back in 2009. Now, he called that earlier today a great day. So what was it like yesterday when he called home to tell his mom he was going to the show?
She accidentally hung up the phone and just started celebrating, and everyone in you know where they were staying at, everyone started celebrating with them, and then she was like, oh my, I got to call him back, and that's when she called him back.
So let's back up a little bit. Normally when he calls home, other members of the family answer the phone, nieces and nephews, but this time his mom, who he was calling for, actually answered. So she asked if everything was okay. He said yes, but take a seat, I need you to sit down. And then he told her the news, and she got so excited she hung up. So, you know, you can't blame mom. I mean, she got excited, but, you know, hey, that's the way it went down. That's the way it went down.
Well,
makes a better story, too, huh?
Just imagine what she thought when he got into the game tonight. Here's Neftali Feliz. First time we've seen him since last Sunday. There's Alan Hansen. Big league uniform. He's been all smiles all day. They were able to connect a little bit with Dung down in Indianapolis on rehab for that extended time.
That'd be, even at this point right now, you know, he's been in there, he's pinch hit, and he's still, though, that his mind just got to be going a million miles an hour to watching this, looking out this sight with the buildings all lit up across the river and how bright everything is. I mean, that's one of the things you really notice between the minor league ballparks and the big league ballparks is the way they're lit up. It's just obviously it's like it's daytime. Lights are so high, they're so bright.
There's multiple decks. Do you remember anything about your major league debut?
Yeah. I mean, the thing that stuck out, but there's a whole bunch of things in that game that stuck out. One of the first things was the giving up a home run in the first inning to Willie Stargell. That was a memorable event. So there was a big fight in that game. It was
wow. So
it was a very interesting game.
Yeah. So it wasn't just
well, the Phillies and
came and went.
The Phillies and the Pirates back in those days, it kind of had a. You know, it's the two teams that are always fighting each other for the division. Those are the ones that you have the bad blood between most often. And that's how it was back then with the Phillies and the Pirates.
Foul ball.
So it was it was something I got to witness right away, immediately, that rivalry. It was pretty special. I mean, the Phillies had won 3 divisions in a row leading up to '79, and the Pirates take the division, win the World Series in '79. So now you're in '80, and it was just a great first game in the big leagues.
I mean, an eventful one. Just check the box score. It was
the Phillies won, but it didn't have anything to do with me.
May 26, 1980, at the Vet, and the game ended on a walk-off.
Now that I don't remember.
Larry Boa singled off Teak. Teak gave up 2 in the 9th, which doesn't happen. Well, by Ibar.
Not well enough, though. Got to hit it pretty good, get over Joyce's head.
So there's a fight in that game. How about the one last night? There's going to be some major suspensions. That game, they had 8 men ejected in the game, including Rugned Odor landing the punch on Jose Bautista. And this has been talked about all throughout baseball circles today, with those two teams having some bad blood after postseason last year. Met Chris earlier today. Hi, Chris. I was working that game for Toronto, or as they say, Toronto.
That that was a horrible slide. I mean, that's the kind of slide that can end the season for a player.
Yeah, Bautista was hit with a pitch, and then of course last year the famous bat toss. Feliz, the former Ranger, teammates with some of those guys involved in that yesterday. And Ben Hurdle, of course, spending a year with Texas and linking Feliz to the Pirates this year. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. So the pinch hitter, Reed Brignac, down on strikes. course, Jeff Bannister, the manager of the Rangers.
I'm thinking back to that slide, and is it a better punishment to have the runner at first called out, or to get punched in the jaw? I'm thinking the better punishment was to get punched in the jaw.
And Jung Ho Gung, a big reason why that rule exists now, where you can't slide that late. I mean, it was an illegal slide on Cervelli. Got nicked up on this. Or Eagles dare.
A little bit of I guess, a throwback situation where the infielder decided to take things in their own hands for a slide that tried to hurt him.
Yeah, there'll be some major suspensions involved there. Tatabzik out to tend to Cervelli, but this is something that just takes a moment. Cervelli, one of the tougher guys behind the plate. Need a moment. And there's a reason we're not showing this to you multiple times. So he's back in there. You can ask him tomorrow on Twitter Tuesday.
Yep. Be a good question.
Strike on Markakis, doubled back in the third.
I wonder if he'll be asked for advice.
That has been a popular segment here at the ballpark. They've shown it on occasion between innings. Fans asking Cervelli for relationship advice.
He's given some good answers.
Yeah, he sure has. He would have made my life a lot easier years ago. And just enough room. Blanco gets the third out on a nice tidy 1-2-3 inning for Neftali Feliz.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Kenny Ross, Total Confidence Pricing, and by Levin Furniture, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Hope you had a good stretch. Pirates on top, 6-2. And Cervelli and Chris Stewart. Yeah, I've been there, fella.
Really, it's not much to laugh at, I don't think.
Alexi Ogando in for Atlanta. Polanco, Freese, and Cervelli.
Gondo's numbers on the arrow points. 300 batting average. Quite a few walks, a dozen of them for 16 innings. But the ERA, not too bad.
Another former Texas Ranger. Little flare for Polanco on a base hit, his third of the night. And a look at our Nissan road ahead, and Juan Nicasio gets the start tomorrow against Aaron Blair, the rookie. Veteran Julio Teheran still looking for his first win. Mariano trying to bounce back, and Jeff Locke against Mike Foltynewicz. Conclusion of this 4-game series. Pirates coming off that 4-4 road trip within the division. Coming into tonight 2 games over. Still ahead of pace from last year. 4 games under 500 through 40 games. This is number 37 tonight. So at the end of the series, we'll see kind of where they are in relation to last year as Tony Watson gets loose.
We get a feel for Polanco. We're talking about that leg being a little balky earlier in the game. See if he runs here, then we'll know it's feeling just fine.
He's going. And Flowers didn't even get the ball. So stolen the base, number 5 for Polanco. That's a good sign. Flowers throws out 8% of attempted base stealers.
Couldn't find the hand.
Man in scoring position with nobody out. And you can follow Pirates Baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live video game highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. David Freese with a pair of hits. Just missed 2-2.
Ball just a little bit up and in. Tough to handle it right there. Get that play out over the plate, or that pitch out over the plate just a little bit. You can see how that ball was just tying him up.
Keep Polanco close. strikes out Freeze.
Same pitch, up and in.
The third time the Pirates have gone down on strikes tonight.
You're trying to be conservative there with your approach. You're in a kind of a 2-strike deal, and they put that fastball up and in, and you just can't be quick enough. Waiting, and then when you decide to pull the trigger, it's by you.
A couple of runs batted in for Cervelli tonight.
When that ball is out over the plate like that one was, you can still get to it even if you have that 2-strike approach. And Cervelli kind of has 2-strike approach most of the time. He's always trying to stay inside the baseball. He wants contact to be made on the side of the baseball that's closest to him. That's what that means by staying inside the baseball, which is what a 2-strike approach is. You're not trying to get out around the ball and pull it.
And Cervelli on base to a tune of 390 coming into tonight. 18 runs batted in. Team leader is Josh Harrison with 20. Polanco's got 19. And pretty evenly spread from this Bucco bunch. Gondo once an all-star starter with Texas. Borderline. Back in that 2011 season. Was a minor league outfielder with the A's a long time ago, Ogando.
Really varying the velocity on that fastball to this point. That last one 95. It's got a pretty wide spread. He was able to reach back, get a little extra on that last one.
Polanco at second with 1 out. 6-2 Buccos in the 7th. Just missed.
Gondo does a good job of keeping that ball in on the right-hander's hands once it gets ahead.
Now 32 years old.
Two pitches, number 3 and 4, right on the inside corner. A good spot for a fastball when you're ahead in the count.
Two. Might have had.
I think Mills was going to call. Yeah, Mills was going to call that strike 3. He changed his mind because the ball wasn't caught. Flowers cost himself a strikeout.
And it's not that, you know, a catcher can fail to catch a strike. It's just it's hard for the umpire to see where the ball was.
You can see Flowers there. He turned, or I mean Mills. He turned to make that call and then changed his mind.
Flowers 6'4" catcher.
It was definitely a strike.
Well, when they talk about pitch framing, that is the opposite of pitch framing. Happens sometimes. So instead, the 1-2. And that'll move up Polanco to third. And almost rolled into the camera pit. Just in case. Be ready. Batters will bring the infield in. Pirates lead 6-2 here in the 7th. 1 out. 2-2 from Ogando. Now 3-2. Well, with Flowers not catching that, what would have probably been strike 3, we'll see how that might change how this inning comes around.
Doesn't want to face that guy with a runner in scoring position. Looks like he'll have to. Look at those springs on the mask. All the masks have springs.
New technology. Cervelli strikes out. So Ogando gets what he thought he probably got the first time around. It's something that I just heard about today, in fact.
Really?
Trying to lessen the blow on you know, a foul tip back.
Hey, the springs down on the bottom too, by the chin. If they got springs, now they're going to have to add some shock absorbers next.
Oh, yeah. Well, you just came up with a secondary aftermarket item that maybe you can work on in your spare time. There's Matt Joyce. A couple of singles. He's scored a run. He's driven in a run. Just one tonight.
The torsion bars might actually fit better than the coil springs. You can run them down along the side.
I didn't think the word torsion would get into the broadcast today. Well done. Blanco at third. And Joyce launches this one to right, and no doubt about this one. Matt Joyce hits a 2-run home run. And the Pirates on top 8-2 on Matt Joyce's 5th home run of the year. What a year for Matt Joyce. Well, Bob, you were wrong. You said he'd only drive in 2 runs tonight.
Yeah, I meant with one swing. Should have said 2 runs in 1 swing.
3 hits, 3 RBIs tonight for Matt Joyce. Now Josh Harrison.
There's that pitch that's out over the plate. You can get some extension there. You get the head of the bat to the ball. It doesn't tie you up when it's in. That same pitch to that same level, the top of the strike zone, you move that inside and you can see how it affects the hitters. They can't get their hands out. But when it's out over the plate, look out. Out over the plate, out over the fence.
He's now hitting .372. And Christian acknowledging your great wisdom.
I've been a prophet and a panda bear both tonight.
Wow. I mean, anytime you could say that, you know you're having a good night.
Absolutely, absolutely. This has been a real good night. It's great to be back home at PNC Park, isn't it?
Matt Joyce hitting .372. He's driven in 15 runs now in 43 at bats, and he's hit 5 home runs. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Two Buccos, and Harrison could not hold up. So Ogando strikes out 3, but Matt Joyce strikes for 2. The Lumber brought to you by Yellowwood. And wow, Matt Joyce. That sweet left-handed swing. It's back. He has as many home runs this year as he did all of last year with the Angels. 5. Worked hard in winter, playing winter ball in the Dominican Republic. And he's done most of his damage as a pinch hitter this year. I mean, that's hard to do, to keep that rhythm going.
Nice example of a classy way to put the bat down when you hit a no-doubt home run. Right there, perfect example of the way it's done.
And talk about class. There you go. Young fan with a souvenir. Thanks to Matt Joyce. Bob Walks, pick of the game.
Corey Lupke back and in the ball game.
And a base hit for Ender Inciarte. And he'll be held to a single. Polanco got it in quickly.
First baseman, Freddie Freeman.
And some tweets about Matt Joyce. We'll tell you when that one lands. Yeah, you're right at Renegades. That is a beautiful swing. Uncle Vicky. How good is Matt Joyce? Yeah, I mean, he's done it in limited action too. I mean, 43 at bats. There's a base hit and maybe more for Freddie Freeman. McCutchen able to keep it from the wall. And will keep Inciarte at third. And the second double of the night for Freddie Freeman. Corey Lupke pitching for the Pirates for the first time since April 13th. Did have an extended rehab down at AAA Indianapolis. Had a hamstring concern that kept him from being able to pitch.
That's a loud phone, isn't it? You can hear it ring up here. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Well, that calls for Jared Hughes. But 2 men on. 8-2 Buccos in the 8th. Francoeur homered in his last time up. For Lupke, we've chronicled his long road back to the major leagues. He did not pitch for 3 seasons in the big leagues, 2 Tommy John surgeries, and then several other more minor injuries, but still plenty to keep him at bay. This will get a run home. Francoeur has all 3 Braves runs batted in tonight. Freeman moves on to third. It's 8-3. The road for Francoeur and the road for Lupke, both going through El Paso, Texas, where Francoeur kind of kept his career going 2 years ago. Lupke pitched there briefly last year, just trying to get healthy.
Interstate 10, right?
He's going down
right through El Paso.
I've driven that stretch.
It's a long road.
It
takes us a week on that road.
Yeah. Well by Kelly Johnson. And this one's going to get out of here, and all of a sudden it's 8-5. And the Braves are hitting some hard, long shots here off of Corey Lupke, who did pitch pretty well down in Indianapolis. But very quickly here, the Braves, who are the poorest scoring team in baseball,
and who just, as we talked about, they really just have almost pitcher-like offensive numbers against left-handed pitching.
Well, they've hit 9 home runs all year, and they've hit 2 tonight. Johnson and Francoeur each getting their first
They only had
of the season.
2 home runs off left-handed pitching going into the season, going into this game. So they've doubled their home run count off lefties.
And for Lukey, that's going to be it. 3 hits, 3 runs. Retired a batter. And his return to the Pirates inauspicious. Jared Hughes coming on here in the 8th, and now a 3-run ball game.
Telecast is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
8-5 now. Pirates lead cut to 3. Pirates with their 6-run lead entering the inning. 3 runs quickly. Now Jared Hughes.
Jared's numbers so far. Spent quite a bit of time on the disabled list coming out of spring training.
Now the Braves with a 2-home run game for the first time since the first 4 innings of the season. They had a couple of home runs, and that's been it. Base hit for Tyler Flowers. So the Braves coming in very quiet offensively. And Eric O'Flaherty, who was in spring training with the Pirates, getting up, as is Tony Watson now in what is to be a save situation coming up. Melanson pitched an inning yesterday. Assuming it stays this way, Pirates have a chance to bat in the bottom half, of course. And another former Pirate, Darno, with that triple back in the 4th. Underneath it, Jordy Mercer able to get the second out.
That ball way inside. Sometimes that sink movement turns into just kind of like sideways break.
Jared Hughes talking about how he's trying to stay on top of the ball better, and also diminishes velocity too, which he's done
that
lately.
Last pitch just really jumped inside.
Ibar, that's it deep to left, but plenty of room for Polanco. Braves add 3, but the Pirates still lead by 3. Great look at our great offensive performances we've seen tonight. 8-5 Pirates. Kelly Johnson making it a 3-run game with the Braves' second home run of the night. First game. Hopefully not the last. Many more to come. Just getting started. Mercer. Corey Lupke started the 8th inning. First game back after missing a month with injury. Mercer tonight 0 for 2, intentionally walked. Facing Ogando in his second inning of relief. Joyce homered off of Ogando last inning. There's a base hit for Jordy Mercer.
That's certainly what you wanted to see to start this inning. And even though we have a decent lead right now, you still, insurance is insurance. Get it when you can. The way the Braves have kind of fought their way back into the ball game, wouldn't be bad to add one more on.
Well, no doubt. I mean, we're talking about it in the first inning. You know, Pirates coming right out with 3. As Freddie Gonzalez is going to make a pitching change here, so Ogando is done. And Cole Figueroa coming in to pinch hit. 8th. Right after they announced the lefty batting Cole Figueroa, lefty Eric O'Flaherty.
He's seen a lot of work with the Braves. 17 games, just 9 2/3 innings though. So a lot of coming in and facing a left-hander, obviously. It's the scenario here.
With Jaso due to follow, O'Flaherty was in spring training with the Pirates. His contract was sold to the Braves right at the end of spring training, and basically freeing a roster spot, one of which Cole Figueroa took. Hitless in 10 trips as a Pirate in his second stint now, after hitting well in Indianapolis. Trying to get the bunt down, move over the runner, and play for that insurance run. Mercer led off with a single against Ogando. Vogelsong and Melanson.
Depends on what the score is when we start the 9th inning. Who's going to get the pitch?
Melanson pitched yesterday, picking up for that great outing from Garrett Cole. Figueroa hit .340 in his 13 games with Indianapolis, with a couple of home runs too. Trying to keep Mercer honest.
Good hit and run count.
You've been right all night, Walkie.
Not
there
this
you go.
time. Yep.
He's running again. And it's through. Mercer will put on the brakes and get back in a second. There's the first Pirates hit for Cole Figueroa.
Mercer run on that?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, you're right again. You're hot.
Oh, yeah. All I said was, I didn't say it was going to be a hit and run. I said 2-1's good hit and run count. See, that way, if they don't hit and run, I'm just making an observation.
You're on fire tonight, and pat yourself on the back for the first time.
Almost didn't work out, though. That ball, you put that hit and run on, and now you're leading him, one of the middle infielders, in this case the shortstop, right to the bag, so he can field the ball and step on it at the same time. But that bar came up with nothing but air when he reached to get that ground ball.
So Sean Rodriguez is the authenticator. First Pirates hit. Rodriguez batting for Jaso. Sometimes has come in games late as a defensive replacement. And here, with the lefty on the mound, he's a right-handed batter. Jaso's night is done, and a base hit and a walk. (8-5), looking for more here in the 8th. Figueroa with the base hit, trailing runner. We're talking about Matt Joyce, Sean Rodriguez too. being able to come off the bench, an occasional start, and be very productive. Hitting at 300.
It is pretty amazing when you look at the offensive production they've gotten from the players that aren't really necessarily considered everyday starters. It is uncommon to have that type of offense from what you consider to be your bench.
Stewart has definitely contributed. He hasn't seen much action so far, but between Rodriguez and Joyce, they have fewer than 100 at bats, yet they've driven in combined 29 runs and hit 9 home runs. And are hitting well over 300 combined. Both hitters individually are.
Used to be a part of a pretty productive bench that first came up. Utility guy, start here and there.
He's the team leader in RBIs right now. Everybody's very close.
Forced his way into the everyday lineup. I always thought it's a little more difficult for the young guys to come up and be able to do what Jay did. Get on that bench for the first time really in their careers, being everyday players, of course, in the minor leagues, and then adapt to it and be very productive.
Playing several different positions, but also challenging.
He accomplished all of that.
There's a base hit for Rodriguez, and Mercer will be held up. Sean Rodriguez keeps on hitting, and the base is full of Bucks with nobody out for Andrew McCutchen.
Down and away. Nice swing on that ball. Head down, but not much movement. The head very still through the entire swing.
Bases loaded on 3 straight singles. McCutchen tonight 0 for 4.
Sean reminded me of an owl. You know, their heads are always they're flying in between the trees, but their eyes and their head is stabilized.
Helps you see better, I would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Mercer led off the inning, singling off Ogando. He was pulled for the lefty O'Flaherty. Figueroa, a pinch hit single. And Rodriguez, a pinch hit single. Woohoo! You've been about as smart as an owl tonight with all your predictions. You win a Tootsie Pop. This one hammered but foul. Ooh.
Yeah, there's a souvenir for somebody way up in one of the suites.
It's matching hat night.
Don't really expect to get one when you're standing up there watching the game. Pow! McCutchen didn't even want to watch it. He knew it was going a long way, but wrong direction.
If there's a just missed category, he's up there. And McCutchen 0 for 5 tonight. But the base is still loaded.
Hard time with his grip on that bat for some reason.
Dropping the bat after. Polanco has had 3 singles tonight. He scored 3 runs. And the Braves in unexpected outburst offensively with that 3-run top half of this inning. The Pirates trying to get some or all of that back. Pirates have led throughout. Jeff Francoeur, one of 2 Braves home runs tonight. They came in just hitting 9 home runs all season. Kelly Johnson the other.
Not a good night.
Hey, if the Pirates get the W, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Come back tomorrow and go 5 for 5.
He's done that. A pop up here. Darno gets the second out, so bases loaded, nobody out. Now 2 gone. David Freese with a pair of singles and 2 runs scored. We'll try next. Polanco's done well too against lefties.
Yeah, that hadn't been a problem.
He's hung in there, especially in the slugging department. Improved this year. Oh, Flaherty, who was with the Pirates, and he was informed with about 5 days to go in spring training that he was not going to make the roster. They had to make a decision on him because of his major league experience. He was signed on a minor league deal, so I said, we'll find a home for you, and what better place than Atlanta, where he enjoyed the greatest success of his career. These guys are always talking ball.
Normally hitting. If Kutch is involved in that conversation, he loves to talk hitting.
That's a strike. Couple of salamis for Freese in his career. Come on, David, have another. I bring this up from time to time, but the run expectancy, bases loaded, nobody out, about 2.5 runs. So if the Braves somehow get out of this, they'll have really dodged a bullet. I got to credit Tom Tango's great book for that. The book. Now 2-2. Three straight singles to start the inning, then O'Flaherty issuing a strikeout to McCutchen and getting Polanco to pop out foul. 2-2.
A little spoiler swing. Pretty darn good pitch there on 2 strikes. Flaherty couldn't make a better pitch. And normally when you hit that one down and away, you're probably not going to hit it very hard anywhere. Fouling it off is really what you want to do. Now maybe he'll give you something better to hit. He did, but came up empty.
Flaherty comes back after the bases were loaded and gets out of it unscathed. this series against the Braves tomorrow night. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason right here on Root Sports. Here we go, ninth inning, 8-5. The Pirates trying to make it 2 in a row on this cool night here at PNC. Juan Nicasio gets the nod tomorrow. And the call for the ninth, of course, because it's a 3-run game, goes to Mark Melancon.
Yeah, Melancon, no. Be looking for save number 12 on the season. And in 17 games. Got a nice big cushion tonight. 3-run lead. Sean is obviously over at first base now. The hit for Jaso.
And Malik Smith, the rookie, speedy rookie, going to pinch hit for Eric O'Flaherty. A little bit of an ankle situation, but he's recovered. And a strike.
Cut that little cutter right over the outside corner.
Out of play, 1-2. Well, trying to make a winner out of John Nace tonight. Gave up 2 runs over 6. Figueroa with his first Pirates hit last inning. And he held up 2-2.
Lanson's strikeout pitch, that hook. Smith able to say no.
Melancon, when given at least a 3-run cushion for a save opportunity, he has been perfect. The only one he did not convert, we referenced it earlier, that very wild game in Arizona. Did Danny field that ball? Nope. I thought maybe he. No, okay. You're still breaking into form. This is his spring training right now. Smith giving Melancon an at bat here.
He's been very defensive with his swing. You could tell he's just waiting so long, especially when he fouled that one over toward Danny a while ago. Almost like hitting the ball out of the catcher's glove.
Smith hanging around. Let's try it again. And almost clipped him. And so he will see a 9th pitch of this at bat to open the 9th.
Trying to jam him inside with that cutter. Looked like Smith kind of just turning, trying to let that ball nick him in the backside.
Almost looked like he played soccer for a moment. He showed it on the replay. And Melancon gets his man.
Beautiful control he has. He's able to backdoor that cutter where it starts off the plate just a smidgen and then just curls in. About the width of the baseball is about how far his cutter moves. Just comes in and hits the corner.
And Malik Smith introduced to it. First time seeing Melanson. 1 out in the 9th. Markakis has doubled and walked. Pirates have led throughout. 3 runs in the first. Harrison stays with it and gets out number 2.
On that side of the infield to get that bad hop comes up on you, just make sure you smother it, keep it in front of you. That short little throw.
Melanson has faced the minimum in half of his save opportunities. He'd like to do that here to keep Freddie Freeman from appearing in this inning. This is Ender Inciarte. Strike 1. Inciarte 1 out of 3. 2 outs in the 9th. Win.
Real nice first game back into town. Really a comfortable ball game right from the very first inning when they put up that 3 spot.
Matt Joyce.
He's got to learn how to do it.
He's got to learn the choreography. Big offensive star tonight for Joyce. 3 RBIs, great contributions all the way around. Nice start from John Neese. Mark Melanson was save number 12, and the Pirates have put together back-to-back wins. Holding off the Braves tonight, 8-5 here in the homestand opener.
It's got to take them one at a time. I'll come back tomorrow and start all over. Go for that next W.
Looking forward to that, but in the meantime, let's talk about this one. Let's go to Robin Teak.
Joe and Bob, thanks very much. We'll be checking back in with the guys who called the game for you tonight in just a little bit. But Teak, first of all, nice to get home. The Pirates have played, along with the Detroit Tigers, the fewest home games in all of baseball. We know how good they are at home. They come home and they beat up on a team that's really scuffling in the Braves.
Yeah, the Braves are a team that are in transition, obviously, and they're down right now. They'll be back up sooner rather than later. But, yeah, this is a time you want to catch teams like this, particularly coming off of that stretch of all National League Central games where you're playing against some of the best teams in all of baseball on a nightly basis. Get a little bit of a breather, come away with a 3-1 win to get this series started. Hopefully it'll just carry over into tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Starling Marte on paternity leave. Matt Joyce gets the start and made it count, and he's with Dan Potash. Danny?
Yeah, that's right, Rob. Matt certainly making the most of his start in right field tonight. And how much did it mean for you guys to not only end that long road trip with the victory against the Chicago Cubs, but start off tonight with a big win? But the way you guys won, you continue to add on runs. You never gave up.
Yeah, we had some things go our way, and the guys just came out tonight ready to play. It was a great home crowd, and we love coming home to you guys. So we appreciate the support. It was nice to come back home and get a victory.
You hit your 5th home run of the season. You do so in just your 43rd at bat. As impressive as that is, you actually did it a few better by hitting 5 home runs and 36 at bats back in 2008. What's behind the power surge to start this season?
It's a lot of hard work, man. It's a funny game. It's ups and downs, and you just try to ride the roller coaster. And for me, just try to stay as ready as I possibly can and take advantage of the opportunities that are given.
I saw you doing a lot of running around, not just in right field, but on the base paths. Came home on Jay Hayes' triple. If I read Clint Hurdle's lips correctly from the dugout, he said, "Hey, you got to pace yourself. It's a marathon." So being out in the field sometimes, do you have to remind yourself, since you do come off the bench a lot?
Well, Marte's out for a couple of days. He just had a baby that we're really excited for him, but you know, he's on leave, so I get a couple of days to start in a row. So he's just reminding me, you know, we got a couple of days to start. Don't blow it all out in the first start.
Matt, thank you so much.
Cool, thanks.
Guys, it's all yours.
Dan and Matt, thank you very much. The Pirates winning 8-5, and just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and it is Matt Joyce coming off the bench. Man, what a pickup by General Manager Neil Huntington and his staff, as Matt Joyce Teague 3 for 4, 2 runs, 3 RBIs, and his 5th home run of the season.
Yeah, no, you know, when you got Matt Joyce, when you heard he was coming in spring training, okay, this is a veteran hitter, knows how to take some quality at bats. He's going to give you good at bats. You didn't expect this kind of power, nor did you expect this kind of average out of Matt Joyce. He had a very down year 1 year ago, comes on board with the Pirates, and everything that he has done so far has been absolutely perfect. So Matt Joyce going to get a chance to play for a couple more days while Marte is back at home on paternity leave. Looks like he's feeling pretty good about that.
After a long road trip, the Pirates start off this 10-day, 9-game homestand in style with a victory over the Atlanta Braves. Coming up on Pirates Postgame, presented by the Allegheny Health Network. Highlights from this game, postgame reaction from manager Clint Hurdle and others. Highlights from around the league, Teague's analysis, and more coming up next.